What's up YouTube? This is Showag08. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a deck tech sort of discussion for what I'm taking to game day tomorrow. And then at the end of the video I'll be opening up a couple boosters to get some sweet pulls to add to the deck hopefully. So I'm probably going to type up a deck list and post it in the underbar since I don't have a camera, I just have my webcam on my laptop and I can't really hold up the laptop. So I'm just gonna show you what's in there. Start off with the mana base. Running 20 swamps. Super. Yay, swamps. Swampy. 20 swamps. One Bojuka Bog, just cause I know Vengevines are running around. And this also puts the kibosh on Morbid Plunder type graveyard recursion deck type things. So this is just a one of, just in case. I mean, sometimes it's really good and a lot of times it's not really relevant. 3 Inkmoth Nexus, just because I have them and they're good. It's an Infect deck, so it's good to have Inkmoth Nexuses. I have 3. I would be running 4 if I had a 4th one, but I only have 3, so meh, that's what I got. This deck is kind of, look, I had a lot of the same really good cards, and so I built the deck around it. So now let's get into the creatures of the deck. We have 3 Ichorclaw Myrs, really good bashing on the ground. If worse comes to worse, they could put a -1 counter on a Goblin Guide or something. So these guys are pretty good. I like them because they pump up, so later in the game, when the boards might be a bit stalled out, you can still swing in with these guys and they're still relevant even though they're 1/1s. If they, they boost when they get blocked, so they're more relevant in later game situations than Plague Stinger. 3 Plague Stingers. This one's pretty cool because it's promo, but 3 Plague Stingers, evasion, you could throw in equipment, you can boost them. Evasion poison guys, 2 drops, really good. Then the rats. We got 1 Ichor Rats and 2 Septic Rats. I'd like to run 2 of the Ichor Rats and 1 Septic Rats, but once again, this is what I have, so this is what I'm playing. Ichor Rats are good, free poison counter on them, and Septic Rats is decent, definitely better than Contagious Nim. And 4 Phyrexian Crusaders. I know these guys are all stars in the deck just because of the first strike and the protection from colors just makes these guys really good. So yeah, hoping to dominate some Myr and aligned players tomorrow. 3 Core Prowlers. Originally I was playing 4, but I ended up getting a lot more 4 drops, so I had to cut 1. I like these guys a lot. I like them better than Corpse Cur because you play a Corpse Cur and you get value. You don't get the value on Corpse Cur when it dies. I like these because when things go bad and your creature dies, that's when you get the value. So it's kind of like a comeback sort of thing. I mean, you get to proliferate, get an extra poison counter on them, so that's pretty cool. I know there's a lot of mono black Infect decks that are running a lot of these with like Throne of Guest, so you can like double proliferate. That's a little bit too tricky for me. I'm going more aggro control sort of. So these guys are cool. I like them. Really nifty, really fun. Probably one of my favorite fun cards from Mirrodin Besieged. So yeah, 3 of those. 2 of the Hand of the Praetors. These guys are pretty sweet. They give you free poison counters when you play Infect guys. And they boost your Infect guys. And the 3/2 beater is pretty good on its own. If you're ever playing Infect, don't be afraid to use these guys to attack with rather than just having them sit back. Because 3 Infect is pretty good. Yeah, because they're 3/2. And then 4 Phyrexian Vatmothers. This guy, I really like this guy. I don't understand why he's only $1.80-ish in value. I feel like he is, as far as a beater, he's really good. I mean, he only costs 4 for a 4/5 Infect, which is essentially an 8/5 effect normal guy. If you like to think of it that way, I usually don't, but you could say he has double strike since his Infect is like 2 points of damage. So this guy is really good for only 4 mana. You get excellent beater. And then a Skithiryx, another evasion guy. I'm only running 1, but if I had more, I think I'd still only run 1. A lot of the creatures in this deck are 4 and under, and you don't want to have too many overcosted Infect guys, because then it stops being good. And 2 Massacre Wurms. These are not Infect, the only non-Infect creature in the deck, just because when it enters the battlefield, the Massacre effect really cleans their board. And so if you have Infect guys, you slam one of these on the table, you wipe out a bunch of their trump blocker dudes, and all of a sudden your Infect guys can get through in the later game. Also, if you don't get there with the Infect guys, this Massacre effect with the loss of life, usually you slam this and they end up losing like 6 or 8 life just when you play them, and then you have a 6/5 beater. So he's pretty good. He's killer against aggressive decks. Good against elves. Good against Kuldotha Red if you can survive that long. So, oh, and it eats Boros for breakfast. So these guys are in there. Also because I have them. So now let's get on to the spells. I guess we'll go, yeah, these first. Trusty Machete, 2 of them. I was normally running a Sword of Feast and Famine and a Skinwing, but I decided Skinwing was too slow for competitive standard, and Sword of Feast and Famine is Mirrodin aligned, so I can't use it if I want to try for the Suture Priest promo. So these are in here as pretty much one of the best non-Mirrodin equipment. If you look at equipment, there's not a lot to choose from that's non-Mirrodin, other than, like Flare Husk. I was considering Kite Sail from Worldwake, +1/+0 on flying. That seemed okay, but then it was like, who am I equipping? I'm equipping Plague Stingers and like Phyrexian Crusaders that already have evasion, so I chose these over Kite Sail. I considered Hammer of Ruin against like Quest for the Holy Relic decks, but I'm not really anticipating to see that deck at the game day that I'm going to. Kind of a smaller shop, so I'm not really expecting that sort of deck. I mean, I'm expecting some net decking from Eldrazi Green or Kago or Kawblade, but mostly I'm expecting vampires because I know a lot of people play vampires at the store that I'm going to. 1 Contagion Clasp, just for proliferating, and this is a good answer to Phyrexian Crusader, which I'm actually kind of afraid of. I'm afraid of losing to Phyrexian Crusader and to Kuldotha Red. I feel like those decks are good against me, or that I'm not very good at playing against them, just because I haven't played against those ones very much. So this is a good in here for answer to Phyrexian Crusader, but also for proliferating. It's pretty good against control. You get 1 poison counter on them, and then you stick a Contagion Clasp, and then they're on a 9-turn clock. So, 2 Quag Sickness. These are another card that I had to put in just because I was originally running Grasp in Darkness, whatever, Grasp, the -4/-4 instant. And that was really good. It's really good for this deck. If it's not aligned, you should definitely have those instead of Quag Sickness. But I'm running Quag Sickness because it doesn't have the watermark. 2 Spread the Sickness. Probably my favorite removal that I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's not cheap, but it destroys any creature, which is super cool. And you get to proliferate, so you're winning twice. No, you get 2 effects from 1 card that helps you win the game, so it's pretty sweet. But I wouldn't run more than 2, just like Skithiryx. When you start adding too much high-end stuff, then the deck stops being good, so I wouldn't run more than 2. And then this is my pump spell, Virulent Swipe, also optional removal. It's got rebound. You get so much value out of this just for 1 mana. You can either combat trick them into losing one of their guys, and you trade for, like, I don't know, Plague Singer or something. But then you get the rebound and you get the pump effect. Most times what I do though when I'm winning is I just slam it as a pump spell, so I can get in for like 3 or 4 poison, and then it comes back the next turn and they take another 3 or 4 poison. It's game over pretty quick. So Virulent Swipe is the pump spell for mono black Infect. So those are the 60 cards in the deck. Now let's look at what I've prepared for the sideboard. I just threw this together last night. Yeah, so we'll start in this. 2 more Contagion Clasps for maybe Control or Myr and Crusader matchup. Like I said, I'm afraid of Myr and Crusader. 3 Inquisition of Kozilek is really good in against Control. You can pull out their Stoneforge Mystics or their Squadron Hawks or their Mana Leaks or their Spell Pierces or their Duresses or their Manlands. No, not their Manlands. You can't do Manlands. But this is in here, discard effect for Control. It also gets Myr and Crusader. 4 Marsh Casualties. This is in here for Elves, Boros, and Kuldotha Red, more so Kuldotha Red. Just because for them, their first 2 turns is like Memnite, Kuldotha Rebirth, Ornithopter, Goblin Guide, or whatever. So if I could, like, you know, give all their guys -1/-1, and that takes care of like 2 or 3 cards from their deck, or from their hand. I mean, that's like a 2 for 1, a 3 for 1, just for 2 mana. Also in the late game, it's really good against Boros. This also combos pretty good with the Massacre Wurm. Just another board sweeping effect. Bam, kill off a bunch of tokens or little dudes. They lose more life. So this is in here for mostly against Kuldotha Red. Consume the Meek is too slow, I think. And Black Sun Zenith would be good too, but I don't have any of those right now. So I have Marsh Casualties. And then I have 2 Doomblades. These are for sideboarding out the Quag Sickness. If I find I'm playing an opponent that doesn't have black, then Doomblade's just as good and it's cheaper. Also, Doomblades are good against Precursor Golem. I noticed that rug decks are playing Precursor Golems now, so I gotta have a kill spell that gets all 3 of them, and Quag Sickness definitely doesn't kill all 3 Precursor Golems. So that's what Doomblade's for non-black opponents and Precursor Golems. Then we have 2 Mind Sludge, just for discard effects. If I could slam one of these on Control, you pretty much win. Mind Sludge. This one I'm not so sure on. I might change it before tomorrow, but Drana, Kalastria Bloodchief. Just because if you can stick her, you can pretty much take care of any threat, and she can win the game on her own. She doesn't need to be Infect. So Drana. And then also, last sideboard card is Grave Titan. I'm running the 2 Massacre Wurms just because I like them better. I mean, the board sweep is really good when I have Infect guys to come in after I slam them on the table. So he's my plan A. If I'm playing more of a control deck where I want to have more fatties to drop down that don't get countered, then I'll take out, I don't know, something little maybe, or maybe just pull out a Massacre Wurm for a different flavor, because Grave Titan can win a game on his own too. So that's the sideboard. Next thing I'm going to be doing is, let me know what you're taking to game day. I kind of want to get some comments below. Yeah, so now we're going to be opening 2 Mirrodin Besieged faction packs. Phyrexian, the store that I went to, They had some of these still. They were a little bit more spendy, but I'm hoping to pull Black Sun Zenith or Tezzeret. And I really like the Phyrexian cards better than the Mirrodin cards, so I always get the Phyrexian packs. A lot of people don't want to open these because they want to sell them or whatever. I play Magic to have fun and play cards and meet people and socialize and trade and have fun. I don't buy booster packs to sit on them and sell them 4 years down the road or whatever. So I'm opening these, and if you can't handle that, then don't finish watching this. You can leave right now. But I'm going to open these. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna switch camera modes here so you can see what's in these. So we have Dross Ripper, Phyrexian, Rotwolf, he's pretty good, Oculus, Phyrexian Rager, I love this guy, Spread the Sickness, really good, Flare Husk, really good, Radiant Emissary, this guy's pretty cool. I like to think about this guy in, what's that red-green ramp deck? Valakut. I like to think about this guy in Valakut. I don't have a Valakut deck, so I can't try it out, but I feel like this guy might have a home there. Banishment Decree, Caustic Hound, Nested Ghoul, he's alright. Core Prowler, Pierce Strider, and Mitotic Manipulation. Decent cards in that pack, but the rare kinda sucked. So here's the second pack. There we go. Alright, we have Pistis Strike, Phyrexian Digester, Spread the Sickness, Oculus, Blight Widow, Phyrexian, Ichor Wellspring, that's pretty cool, Phyrexian Rager, I love that art, Caustic Hound, Vidalcan Anatomist, this guy's pretty sweet too, pretty fun card. I wouldn't say he's competitively playable, but he's pretty fun for casual play. Mortar Pod, pretty sweet. I considered this in the sideboard for my Infect deck, but I decided not to. Corrupted Conscience, excellent. And Mirrorworks is the rare. Mirrorworks is okay. And there's a foil Priest of Norn. I haven't tried Priest of Norn yet, so I don't know if it's any good, but pretty cool looking foil. So no awesome rares really, but Corrupted Conscience is pretty good, and Phyrexian Ragers are always sweet, and I do love me some Spread the Sickness. So thanks for watching. Have fun at your game day if you're going. If you're not going, I advise you to, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by, and until next time, Magic Friends, this is Shellwig 08 opening the boosters so you can see what's inside.